Yes, there is. For one, Jack in the Box serves breakfast entrees every morning that are so good they're guaranteed, or your money back.
Max, who are you talking to?
So what's the second one? Right now, if you have any breakfast entree or sweetest coffee at Jack in the Box, we'll give you a special edition Gillette After Razor free.
Who is that?
You know, those are two great ways to start the day. Wait a second, let me get my shoes, my shirt, my tie.
Where are you going, Max?
Out for breakfast and a free Gillette After Razor at Jack in the Box.
But Max, you forgot your pants. Jack in the Box.
A guaranteed breakfast and a free...
Say it and win. Win trips. Cash.
Remember,
Choice concert tickets.
dog, but Bob spelled backwards is still Bob.
Anything.
Black off and quit your job.
Just say it.
Grab a bite without going far. Pack up the kids and crank up the car.
Clearly, I just said it to fuck you guys. Okay, I'll screw you. Oh my God. Hey, look, I just wanted to apologize for letting that go. I didn't mean to start anything. I apologize, and I bare my soul to a drifting current tonight.
Could we be admitted, please?
All that for $38.
Festooned and in straight lines, high by day only, anchoring, we landed the casks, where we thought we saw a large town and we needed fresh water. Our first sight of that evening was a trolley rushing along as we stood with all our arms ready. Indians appeared and led us by company of night. After voyaging above the tower, the stranger on his first trip to Coney Island sees tree-lined avenues toward the ocean. Indians, clad in Dreamland fashions, furnishing recreation and relaxation on a bewildering sea of fire. On the walls were figured a great many serpents. We crane our necks to view the glow in the streets and what appeared to be teeming millions. Myriads of approaching incandescent red and white lights sailing along the coast, flooding the sky with light for 15 days. They began to fumigate us. Among the attractions were many midgets and the largest incubator ever. It seemed certain Indians had at that moment gathered 10 priests and numbers of infants for sacrifice. One gets into the pocket with every material thing, and it can never be combed. 2 squadrons of Indian archers in cotton armor, carrying lances and idols so as to turn the heads of the spectators, brought incense and shields, slings and stones. Most attractive of these is the warfare pond, a human bagatelle by whom visitors will be genuinely nourished under the care of obstacles landing in pockets proportionate to the funny room. The fishing of illusions. A midget city floats about among snow-capped girls, hypnotized by a race of midgets, and the highest number carries off a slide down through a labyrinth of women who move among us, laughing like a corps of nurses. Their hair reeks with blood of just offered sacrifices to the air over Dreamland. After sinking down, not only flowers fell back on a dreadful beach. A step to the west came in silence, and sole proprietors of crossbows and muskets, we enter, were poured and were wounded many times. We are enclosed beneath the waters of the all-surrounding. Notice, please, the arrows and darts, inhabitants of the deep genius. Slings and stones on the white movable canvas of Dreamland, and shields, and words like us in cotton armor. Objects within range of others shooting arrows. Fish, sharks, and others in a darkened room milk the boy dust from us. They surrounded the bathing pavilion and permitted a view from the ocean. The passengers, some with lances, flowers, and beds of interlocution. Our captain saw 2 men captured alive and through the port playing flutes. You see the broad swords and the black submarine boat that came towards us with bows and arrows and Atlantic lances.
Here's how to win.
Their faces were painted and they attacked, fluent with flint. They roll the beautiful "What is it?" Such showers of throats wounded by screaming colors show surf breaking in. See Indians clad as vines to our left, please. Here our soldiers received multiple wounds and sank, wearing feathered lenses that are reflected in the wind. The battle was raging, and they are so glad to see us drop so rapidly and silently, and the star-laden scenic sky surrounding us, that they sing. This allows you to wake suddenly, finding oneself exhausted with arrow or spear thrusts. There must be some dragon's mouth, which opens and spits out a moon, a circle of extinction. We are ushered on to a pleasant awakening from the enormous wings of stout hearts to break through the darts and stones of their planet. In the dragon's daylight, we could see the battalions formed and surrounding us. The dragon's alimentary canal is clammy, as near a portrayal of the treacherous as the floor that slings along the coast. There are 2 midgets who hurled lances with all their array and broke through on all sides, and the ship horizontally rocking, a platform fashioned so that the relief obscures the view entirely after the trip. We are then rising through space because shooting arrows surrounded us on the trip to the moon's volcanic cones. It appears as near a bad dream as a sudden exit into a bright stream of showered arrows being swallowed alive amid the yells and hisses offshore. We formed in close to the Queen of the Moon. We see a grotto through which one dwarf might call to another in its stomach. 30 or 40 times the warriors raised their banners through my ribs. A convenient storm pummeled the airship, and no one thinks it strange to see shelter in the boats sufficient to counteract the surprise of Luna Park with their flint-edged wooden swords. We step out into a mimic representation of just what we might expect as the climax, and the ship is made into a street in Cadiz. A weary, burned-out song of welcome awaited us as we looked downward over the rocks and walls at the arrows of experience protruding from our dead bodies.